Hey, my name is Jobby, and we're looking at the Master Grade Zeta Gundam Ver.
Did you just say yeah, dude.
And that little Ver means it was designed by Hajime Katoki. He's actually got his own line of Gundam plastic model kits, also known as Gunpla. And the Zeta Gundam has had many model kits over the years. I mean, the show came out in the 80s. It was a direct sequel to the original Mobile Suit Gundam, and it was alright, I guess. Everyone dies. But this particular Zeta Gundam is more than alright. It might even be my favorite Gundam model kit ever. And that's probably because it transforms, TBH. It really is my birthday. You know what else is more than alright? Naraka Blade Point is teaming up with the father of Gundam, Kunio Okawara. A sponsor that's actually related to the review. Doesn't happen often. Naraka Blade Point is a hero battle royale game that features fast-paced melee combat, insane mobility by way of a grappling hook, and a vast arsenal of awesome melee weapons. And if that wasn't cool enough, you even have the ability to transform into a mecha that looks like a Gundam. The design was guided by Kunio Okawara, the mechanical designer for the original Gundam, and many more. It features an iconic red, blue, and white color scheme and stunning transformation effects. Arm yourself with a beautiful beam saber and engage in intense battles with your enemies. That contrast between traditional martial arts and this futuristic sci-fi weapon, freaking epic. Such a cool collab here. The father of Gundam himself bringing the classic appeal of mecha to an already immersive and very popular game. For Gundam fans, this is an incredibly unique piece of gaming history. So check out Naraka Blade Point through the link in the description. Now let's stop talking about Gundam and start talking about Gundam. Out of the box, this thing is completely disassembled because this is a model kit. And if you want a more in-depth look of the build, check out my build and chill stream on my second channel, Jobby2. Like, comment, subscribe. I streamed the entire process there in one of my longest streams ever. On second thought, don't check it out. That's a whole night's sleep.
But Debbie, why did it take you so long to build this thing? I would have built it in 1 minute. Get good, mother.
Yo, shut the hell up. Let me have this. But Debbie, who are these people, seriously? Long ass story short, this was a joy to build. Had its complexity, but with some seriously innovative engineering. Maybe this has been a thing with Gunpla for a while, but I'm amazed at how amazing the color separation is. And by color separation, I mean all the little color details here, from the little bits of yellow, red, and even metallic, are all separate parts. And I gotta make a big deal out of this because in any other model kit, they would have been stickers. I don't like stickers. You do get a sheet of water slide decals, which are a big step up from stickers, but I'm not gonna apply them anytime soon. This guy looks amazing straight out of the box. No panel lining, and more importantly, no painting required. You do get a tiny sheet of stickers here, but they only cover the eyes, both head cameras, and both rifle scopes. Not the worst stickers ever. The reason why I dislike stickers in the first place is that sometimes they cover way too much area and get peeled off over time, but with such small, flat areas like this, they're not coming off unless you try to take them off. And they look great too. But considering the real grade line's use of light piping, this is still a bit disappointing. Of all the tiny details that are color separated here, why not the eyes? The small color details makes up for the fact that large swaths of the kit are unpainted bare plastic, which really doesn't look too cheap, which this kit isn't, by the way, but it's still a far cry from any third-party Transformers figure. The lack of paint here just means zero paint that you gotta worry about chipping, which encourages playability, which is a big must on this kit because of that previously mentioned transformation. We'll talk more about the transformation later, a freaking course. But for now, let's talk about the design itself. I love it. A freaking course. It's got the anime-esque proportions and sleekness of a typical Gundam, but the blocky chunkiness and even kibble of a Transformer. And the backpack here isn't distracting in the least. Back lives matter. It's also animation accurate, so no complaints here. Love this head sculpt as well. Not your average main character Gundam face. Looks a lot meaner than that. Probably because it doesn't have that cute vent frown. And again, the stickers here don't look bad at all. They've got a satisfying metallic sheen, but those parts would look a lot better with a large helping of my Blitz Gundam eye technique. I'm sure someone else has done a tutorial by now. Get over it. But Jobby, I can. At the very least, you don't have to fill in that dark part around the eyes. That mask is a separate piece. My Sharpies are spared today. Also, that classic V-fin doesn't have those insectoid safety nubs, so this thing is sharp right out of the box. They're also on hinge joints, which is obviously for the transformation. Now, you do get the option of a static V-fin with no hinge joint, but then that would be parts for me. Get the hell out of here. Putting
me rat.
And I am loving his big, meaty paws. It's not just me, right? This guy's got some yaoi hands, which makes the lack of articulated fingers a bit disappointing. Even the Master Grade Zaku had some, and that's an older kit. Instead, you could switch out these fists for a pair of spread open hands, and switch out just the fingers for some grabby fingers, which has a little tab there that you can plug the beam saber into, which are conveniently stored in the hip skirts. Love me some weapon storage. You get 2 sabers, by the way. Plug in the actual beam, and this is a classic Gundam weapon. But it does look kinda silly resting in his yaoi hand. But if you must have the beam saber, you gotta complete the look with the shield. Plugs right into these holes on any of his arms, and that is the thinnest shield I've ever seen. Bro isn't blocking anything. The lightly touched upon beam rifle can also plug into his arm in another case of weapon storage. Not the best weapon storage, but at least it's an option. Looks even better if you extend the barrel, turn the rifle around, and plug it into the arm that way. As far as I remember, this doesn't happen in canon, but how could I refuse an arm cannon? Or you could replace those grabby fingers with a trigger finger, flip down the weapon storage tab and flip up this handle, and plug it into the hand. Now he's holding it like a normal person. The rifle looks great either way, even featuring some color separation like the main body. You could also remove this cap to reveal some internal detail. And even with the amazing color separation here, there's still parts that can be improved with painting. Especially when it comes to this unpainted pilot figure, Camille Biden? I mean, he is in a vegetative state. Great detail on Camille for such a small thing. There's even a seated version of Camille within the Gundam itself, although you could barely see him. Yet some people will spend hours painstakingly painting him. I should know. Get a job. And for the final weapons here, you get a pair of blue bricks. In Minecraft. Plugs right into the arms, which allows you to push these parts out, which are, according to the instructions, grenade launchers. And I don't know about you, but this feature just strengthens that Transformers connection. Cyber key power, anybody? And as amazing as the Zeta Gundam design is, it's still not my favorite Gundam design. Obviously, far from bad, just not my favorite. And if you must know, my favorite Gundam design is the Gundam Epion, which deserves an updated model kit. That's bigger than my car. But even then, one of the big reasons why this is my favorite Gundam model kit ever is because of how playable it is. And that's not just because of the lack of paint. This thing is surprisingly solid. 0 tiny armor bits that pop off without provocation, and no joints here that feels like they're gonna get loose over time. The more I pose this guy, the more surprised I am that it's not a pre-built action figure. But it still isn't a pre-built action figure, so I don't recommend that you go too ham on it. But with that being said, ball joint at the head. Every ball joint can be a swivel, which is kind of limited until you extend the neck. There you go. Can't look up that far and look down that far. Rotation at the shoulder, which gets interrupted by the wings until you move the wings out of the way. And those are on a hinge joint, and a swivel. And it could even move out if you wanted to. Anyway, full rotation at the shoulder. No forward butterfly joint, unfortunately, but it can move back. And even more back. Arm can move out from here, and it can move out from here. And this part's on a hinge joint, so it naturally gets out of the way. Hinge joint here. Bicep swivel, which is nice and tight. Double bend at the elbow. Ball joint at the wrist. Every ball joint can be. Little bit of a hinge joint, and you could extend the wrist. What? Extend it too far, and it obviously tears off. But with that being extended, there's another hinge joint here, which is more for the transformation. No articulated fingers as previously mentioned, but you do get a ball joint at the thumb. Every ball joint. And honest to goodness waist swivel here, which apparently isn't typical of transformable Zeta Gundam kits. You get some side to side and an ab crunch. Side skirts can extend, which reveals a ball joint at the base. Every ball joint, a hinge joint, and hinge joint. Front skirts are on ball joints, even featuring some metallic detail underneath the skirt. They didn't have to do that. Butt skirts can also move out, but not too much. And here you get a rotation at the hips. Can't move back that far. It's got a beautiful spread. Thigh swivel. Double bend at the knee. Got your normal shifting armor parts there. Swivel at the ankle. Can move up that far and move down that far. The toe can point downward, but again, that's for the transformation. Look at the bottom of the feet detail. My word. You do get a pivot that seems very limited on first glance, but if you extend the ankle, or just to give you an idea of how it looks, there's a hinge joint here, which unlocks the pivot's full potential. And how that looks back on the joint? There you go, pretty damn good. Posability here is fantastic as expected of a modern Gundam model kit, and it's actually fun to pose despite some fairly complex internal mechanics, which you'll see very soon. Barely anything comes undone here. It doesn't feel like it's gonna explode at any minute, which is more than I can say for some actual Transformers figures. And for even more posing options, you do get a stand adapter, and you can plug that right into a 1/100 Master Grade stand, not included. And for a Master Grade model kit, it's quite big. Size comparison time. Here's Figma Madoka Kaname, Haya Toys Godzilla, the Magic Square Light of Peace, one of my previous reviews, the Haya Toys King Ghidorah, and my previous Gundam review, the Master Grade RX-78-2 2.0, whose issues were the reason why I took another long break from the hobby. This thing, though, is slowly but surely pulling me back in. Not only was this mobile suit mode amazing, but this transformation is amazing. 0 parts for me here. Well, 0.1. The only parts for me here is that you had to make sure that the fists are attached. Should have been articulated fingers, Bandai. Come on. Even if this looks kinda like spaghetti, it definitely doesn't feel like it. You can either attach this stand adapter to get it in the air, or you can flip out this landing gear. And here we have the Waverider Mode, which looks pretty good. I mean, it's a Gundam alternate mode. They've never been the most impressive. Although it is accurate to the original design, so my problem isn't really with the model kit itself. And it's also one of the better Gundam alternate modes, ignoring the obvious legs. Everywhere else is pretty far removed from the mobile suit mode, as it should be. And 0 underside kibble thanks to the shield covering the head. Can't even say that about my favorite Gundam design. But what's really impressive about this mode was the process to get here. The actual transformation was surprisingly and joyously smooth. I need to emphasize just how impressive that is. For a model kit that you have to build to have a pretty involved transformation and not have any parts forming, and better yet, not causing my mind to split. This could have gone so terribly wrong, but it didn't. Everything here fits together. It's pretty dang solid. While there is some areas that I wish actually tabbed in, it's still very whooshable. And just based on what I heard about previous Zeta Gundam kits, I have no reason to go backwards. This is the pinnacle, isn't it? Tell me about your Zeta Gundam horror stories in the comments. You shouldn't be paying that much for parts forming. Although I do enjoy your suffering. I also enjoy how compact this mode is, but I do wish it was bigger. Nothing wrong with its current size, just personal preference. Come on, Bandai. Perfect grade Zeta Gundam 2.0 with this quality of engineering, and my ass is yours. Who am I kidding? You already have my ass. Size comparison time again. Here's Modica, Godzilla, Prime, and Gundam. The Zeta Gundam Ver Ka is a game changer when it comes to transformable mobile suits. After this, there's really no reason for parts forming in a Gundam kit ever again. Right, Bandai? This is pretty much a Transformers quality Gundam, and what a time to be alive that I can say that. Links in the description if you want one for yourself, and don't forget to check out Naraka Blade Point. After my great experience with this guy, you can expect me to review more. What's up, man? You got another fire diss track to drop?
No, actually, most of y'all didn't check out my mixtape, but it's fine. It's fire though, you should. I just genuinely wanted to say that I'm glad that you're doing this again. Gundam reviews were my lifeblood back in the day, man. You were the one that got me into this shit. So it's pretty cool, actually, to see you doing this and even enjoying yourself, man. It's enough to make me... Whoa, hold on. What?
Whoa, dude, you're ascending.
Hey, finally! I think I could rest easy now. Thank you. You're actually gonna review more Gundam.
Yeah, in about another year.
Fuck you.
Thanks for watching, and a big thanks for my members and patrons. All you deluxe class members and double kiss patrons should be scrolling on the screen soon. As for my top paying members, here's all your shoutouts. Starting with my leader class members: Mayday, Papa Maku, Incinerator, Jonathan Coco, God of Odd Daleks, Cam After Dark, Phoenix Logi, Spire Talon, Scarlet Scout 259, Super Duper Boy, Breakaway TA, Sleepy Hot Coco, Convertibot Reviews, Guerrero Power, Joseph Leroy, Lord Ticket, Crazy Dia 64, The One Who Laughs, Archeon 5, Kana Candy, Saber Redfin, Dim Sum Garbage, Melania Blada McKella, Boxhead, SSJ Broly 2001, Leo, Dan, Cognaros, Anime Gods of Gaming, Astro B057, Squartzilla, Toy Scourge TV, John Birchfield, Luxana, Jonas RT, Kamen Rider KFP, and Zelda Gamer LD401. As for my triple kiss patrons: Camdeman, Brandon Moreau, Mama Munix, Ryan Denna, Kong Meng, Caleb Horton, Jonathan Coco, Zach Carney, Delta Vortex, Based Crink, Incinerator 4444, CC6738, Mr. Jaxo, Kieran Hurley, Mast, Fate, Boney's Network, Austin Sabatino, Squartzilla, Tropic Panda, Flowing Games 101, Tiger Boy, Z Naki Art Z, Smithy Killer, Tarn the Robot Layer, Morris Voices, Gorgangus, Dim Sum Garbage, Genius Jedi, Not Modding 21, Cognaros, The Blue Pixeling Entertainment, Proxy Fox, Luxana, Need More Time 11, That Meth Addict, Scarlet Scout, Artist 101, Gabe Nuxall, Harry McStrange, Josh Montemayor, Nathalia Munoz, Daniel Morris, Mighty Sneck, Ken Rodman, Rain Kun, Jawan, Striker 374, Mingyi Caesar, Mr. Jenkins, Weed Horse Theo, and Michael McLaughlin. Thanks for yet another successful month of toy reviews. It's more than an 85-year-old birthday boy can ask for. I'll see you next month with another round of reviews, and I'll see you next week for the fail bugs. Use my hashtag. Now excuse me, I'm gonna go get unimaginably drunk. I've got a problem, man.